Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be revisiting a band I've checked out a few times before, a band called Blue October. Now the first time I heard Blue October I listened to a track called Dirt Room, and I wasn't overly impressed by them. I wasn't particularly blown away by what I heard. And I was later told that I should check out some more of their stuff and perhaps listen to the live stuff rather than official music videos, because you get a lot more from his performance live. So I checked out a couple of other tracks by them, and my opinion of them changed quite drastically. You know, when I heard Dirt Room, there wasn't really anything that drew me into the band. But having listened to other tracks since then, my opinion has completely changed. You know, the way he writes songs is really impressive. They're all very deeply personal to him. They all have some deep meaning for him, and, you know, they're quite emotional tracks. And the track we're looking at today is no different. We're looking at a track called The Worry List. Now, this is a track that has been suggested to me quite a few times in the past, but has been mentioned a few more times very, very recently as well. So I thought, you know, why not check it out? It is a track that has been quite widely suggested, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at The Worry List. Now, as with other tracks, there is a personal story behind it, and this song is about Justin Furstenfeld's struggle with being a father from afar, and it's dedicated to his daughter, Blue. And the story tells it tells a story, should I say. Don't know what happened with that sentence. It tells the story of life as a father after divorce. He admits he's partly to blame for the divorce and all that, due to always being on tour and away from home and stuff like that. But when he tries to see his daughter, when he tries to spend time with his daughter, her mother is always making it really hard for him, you know, like making it nearly impossible for him to actually see her playing games, you know, messing him about. So he's, you know, it's a struggle for him to actually spend time with his daughter. But he's absolutely refusing to give up. You know, he's determined to spend time with his daughter. Excuse me. So, you know, she knows that he hasn't just walked out of her life and left her. You know, he wants to prove to her, you know, I am still here. I am still your father. I still want to spend time with you. You know, so it's quite a strong and powerful meaning behind this track. So I've got the lyrics here. I am actually looking at the music video version, not a live version today. So yes, we'll jump straight to it and see what we have. So, The Worry List by Blue October.
You're asking for what? Extra stuff when you're not even letting me see my daughter? Are you going to let me see my daughter whenever I need to? Yeah, you did. You're taking my time away from me again this weekend, or are you going to let me see Blue? Hello?
I'm tired of twisted, barely breathing, buried in the dark. A creeping, but don't be concerned, that's just the power of a breaking heart. Ooh, how good am I hiding it? Look, I got some bad intentions. Guilty, yeah, I've been charged. Still standing stable, more than able, 'cause I know who you are. I know the birthdays, anniversaries, all the first days I missed. I regret them all, but now I know this. I know that God exists. I held her in my arms. I never knew I was able to ever feel this strong. Take me off your worry list, it'll be better that way. I'm really fine tomorrow, there's nothing we haven't talked about. So take me off your worry list, I said, throw it away. Yeah, this is what my life is about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out. trust you break and still follow through. Cause I'm standing right here, and you may not show up. The same gate 14 where honestly I'm just sick of calling you bluff. And it's just embarrassing that I nearly threw up while I'm trying hard to change the things I always screw up. And at the top of my list, this visitation's no relationship, but I gotta make the best of it. Cause I know that God exists. I held her in my arms. I never knew I was able to ever feel this strong. Take me off your worry list, it'll be better that way. And I'm doing fine, and I got plenty friends around. Take me off your worry list, just throw it away. Well, it's time to stand up on my own for her. Cause I'm packing it up, and I'm coming today. I couldn't wait to finally pick my family up. Everything is quiet and covered in snow. There's something wrong here. Nobody's at home. Oh no, 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 no. I'm back in the driver's seat, heading back home. Yeah, back to Texas. On my own. Take me off your worry list, it'll be better that way. And I'm doing fine, and I got plenty friends around. Take me off your worry list, just throw it away. Yeah, it's time to stand up on my own for her. I'm packing it up, and I'm coming today. And this is what my story's about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out. And I'm packing it up, and I'm coming today. This is what your story's about. My pretty little girl, can you figure it out? If it helps to know so there is no doubt, just listen to the stories, not everything is glorious. Some hurt, some love, some shout. I fought the world and I lost that bout. And you are what my album's about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out.
Daddy fixes what? Yay! I love you.
Wow. Wow. That is a powerful song. And yeah, I've said it before in previous tracks, he's very good at putting emotion into his lyrics, the way that he sings, you know, the way he uses his voice, you can feel the emotion behind those lyrics. I mean, normally it sounds better live, like most people actually told me. He normally sounds a lot better live. You can feel more of the raw emotion of the tracks in the live versions. But this one was pretty good, even in the music video by itself. And the way he's worded this, he's worded it very, very carefully, so maybe not to sound antagonistic, because there have been tracks, I think there might have been one by Blue October. I know there was a couple of other bands where they've done songs like this, and you know, the wife or the significant other has taken it really personally, you know, has sounded like it's going to be a personal attack on them, and this person's actually going to come out and physically attack them if they don't get their way. So he's been very careful in the way he's worded this, so not to cause any sort of antagonistic sort of illusions that they might twist in their favour to play off against him. And you know, it's quite a hard-hitting song. I mean, obviously I'm divorced myself, and you know, I've got 2 kids that live with my ex-wife that I don't get to see as often as I'd like to. But that's mostly down to distance rather than anything else. Now, the lyrics here, I mean, obviously the lyrics are pretty easy to pick up if you're listening to the track, but we'll go over them anyway. It says, I'm tired, twisted, barely breathing, buried in the dark. I could have been. Don't be concerned. That's just the power of a breaking heart. How good am I hiding it? Look, I've got some bad intentions, guilty as charged. I'm standing stable, more than able, because I know who you are. I know the birthdays, anniversaries, all the first days I've missed. I regret them all. But now I know this. I know that God exists. I held her in my arms. I never knew I was able to feel this strong. Take me off your worry list. It's better. It'll be better that way. I'm really fine. And Ma, there's nothing we haven't talked about. So take me off your worry list. I said, throw it away. Yeah, this is what my life is about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out. So just the opening few lines there. I'm dark, twisted, barely breathing, buried in the dark. A could have been. You know, he's in a very, very dark place because obviously he's not getting to see his daughter as much as he wants to. You know, he's been through a divorce and stuff. So you know, he's sort of in a dark place at the moment, and he's a could have been. So it's like, I could have made this work. Things could have been perfect, but mistakes were made on both sides. You know, so he's recognizing that there's a failure there, and he's probably taking all of the blame on himself at that point, whereas it wasn't really all his fault. And it's like, don't be concerned. That's just the power of a breaking heart. So it's like, you don't need to worry about me. I'm not going to do anything rash. I'm not going to do anything foolish. This is just what a broken heart will do to you. It will get better over time. So you don't need to worry too much. And then there's that line, how good am I hiding it? Inside he's falling apart. His soul is crushed. But he's having to put a mask on. I mean, even in the video they showed him wearing a mask. Sort of physical representation of hiding his real emotions, in order to carry on with what he's doing. And there's lines that I know the birthdays, anniversaries, and all the days I've missed. I regret them all. So it's like, whilst I've been separated or divorced from your mother, I've been all over the country, I've been touring with the band, whatever, all these things have happened, and it's prevented me from spending like birthdays with you, it's prevented me from spending anniversaries with your mother. I've missed all of these sort of important dates because I've been away doing my own thing, and I regret missing all of those things because all of that has essentially led to the situation I'm in now, where I can, I'm no longer part of the family immediately, and now I'm struggling to see my own child. And then it went into that chorus. I know that God exists. I held her in my arms. I never knew I was able to feel this strong. Now, that's something I can really relate to, because, people say, when you have a child, it's the most unbelievable feeling ever. And they're not wrong. It's the most indescribable feeling and the most powerful and emotional sensation you will ever feel in your life. It is indescribable. No matter what you do, you cannot actually describe the feeling and the emotion that you feel at the moment when someone hands you your newborn child. There is no other feeling like it. It is unreal. And he carries on, take me off your worry list. It'll be better that way. I'm really fine. And Ma, there's nothing we haven't talked about. I'm not sure about that. So take me off your worry list. I said, throw it away. Yeah, this is what my life is about. I might have gone, but I never walked out. And that's the important line. I might have gone, but I never walked out. I might have been like away on tour. Your mother might have sort of kicked me out. We might be getting divorced, but know that I never walked away from you. I never gave up on you. You're my daughter, you're my child, and that's never going to change. You are vastly important to me, and just know that I didn't turn around and walk away from you. I was forced away from you. Your mother kicked me out. I was away on tour. I wasn't leaving you. I wasn't leaving you because I didn't want to spend time with you. I was doing essentially my job, but I would always come back to you. I didn't walk out. I didn't want to be separated from you. I've taken 1,000 red eyes to change your point of view, but what kind of man would take the trust you break and still follow through? Because I'm standing right here and you may not show up. Our same gate 14 where honestly I'm just sick of calling your bluff. And it's just embarrassing that I nearly threw up while I'm trying hard to change the things I always screw up. And at the top of my list, this visitation is no relationship, but I've got to make the best of it because I know. And then it goes back into that chorus, I know that God exists, I held her in my arms. I never knew I was able to feel this strong. Take me off your worry list, it'll be better that way. I'm doing fine and I've got plenty of friends around. Take me off your worry list, just throw it away. Well, it's time to stand up on my own for her, because I'm packing it up and I'm coming today. So there's a variation on the chorus there. But let's revisit that verse. I've taken 1,000 red eyes to change your point of view. So, you know, he's been on the other side of the world, other side of the country, and he's taken like overnight planes just to go and visit his daughter. You know, so he's making a really concerted effort to actually spend time with her by, you know, like flying halfway across the world, like mid-tour, to go and see his daughter, you know. And he says, what, you know, I've done this to change your point of view, you know, so you know that I'm trying to spend time with you. And then it says, I'm trying to change your point of view of what kind of man would take the trust you break. So that's like, you know, even though I know there is a strong chance that you're not going to bother turning up with my daughter, you know, I've made these arrangements to come and visit you from the other side of the planet. I'm taking this overnight plane where I really probably should be sleeping, you know, where I really need to sleep and stuff like that. I'm taking this plane halfway across the world to come visit my daughter, but I know that you're not going to be there. But I'm coming anyway, just on the off chance that you're not actually lying to me this time. And it, you know, he even says there, because I'm standing right here and you may not show up. Our same gate 14 where honestly I'm just sick of calling your bluff. So, you know, he's sitting there at his gate waiting for, you know, his ex-wife to turn up with his daughter so he can spend some time with his daughter. But he knows that she's not going to be there. You know, he knows in the depths of his heart that she's not going to turn up. She might turn up occasionally, but most of the time she's just not bothering because she doesn't think it's worth the time. She doesn't care enough for him to spend time with his daughter. She's not interested in that anymore. You know, and it's embarrassing that he nearly threw up whilst he's trying hard to change the things he always screws up. So, you know, he's trying hard to fix, you know, the sort of things that, you know, the mess ups that he made before, you know, whilst he was away on tour. He was spending like months away from home. But now he's sort of going like, you know what? I'm away from home on tour, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to get back, spend time with my daughter, and then go back to what I was doing. So she knows that I'm going to prioritise her, because she is important. You know, he's trying hard to fix that. But his ex-wife's getting in the way and making it difficult for him to accomplish this. I couldn't wait to pick my family up. Everything is quiet and covered in snow. There's nothing wrong here. No, there's something wrong here. Nobody's at home. Oh, no. Now I'm back in the driver's seat, heading back home. Yeah, back to Texas on my own. So, you know, he's come back off tour, you know, he's back in his home country, he's back in his home state or wherever it is, and he's like, right, I'm going to go and pick up my daughter, spend some time with her, you know, have some fun. And, you know, he's obviously in the middle of winter or something, because it says everything's covered in snow, but when he gets to the house, no one's there, so maybe they've moved or they've just gone out somewhere, you know, like stay with parents or something like that, just so that they're not home when he gets there, you know, just to mess with him that little bit more, you know, sort of like, yeah, I know you've come to spend time with your kid, but, you know, guess what, not there. Ha! You know, essentially this woman's being the biggest pain in the arse that she can possibly be to make things difficult for him. I mean, yes, he may have been away on tour and doing stuff like that. I mean, you can kind of expect that when you're attached to a musician. You know, you should kind of expect that. in a way. But I mean, I can understand, you know, being frustrated that he's never home because he's away on tour. But at the same time, you know that that is part of their life, so, you know, don't be an arse about it. You know, he's trying to spend time with his daughter, and you're purposefully getting in his way. You're purposefully making it hard for him to spend time with his daughter when he is trying goddamn hard to be there, to show his daughter that he is part of her life, that he hasn't just walked away. You know, so who's the real arsehole here? Then it goes back into that chorus again. Take me off your worry list. It'll be better that way. And I'm doing fine. I've got plenty of friends around. Take me off your worry list and just throw it away. It's time to stand up on my own for her. I'm packing up and I'm coming today. So that's what my story's about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out. I'm packing it up and I'm coming today. This is what your story's about, my pretty little girl. Can you figure it out? If it helps to know, so there is no doubt, just listen to the stories. Not everything is glorious. Some hurt, some love, some shout. I fought the world and lost that bout. And you are what my album's about. I might have been gone, but I never walked out. So, you know, there you go. At that very end, it's like he's talking directly to his daughter there. That's what your story's about. You know, this is what is the truth behind the matter. This is why you don't see me as often as you should and as often as I would like. You know, I'm trying to come and see you, but your mother is getting in our way. If it helps to know, so there is no doubt, just listen to the stories. Not everything is glorious. So it's like, if you're wondering why you haven't seen me, if you're wondering, your mother's probably told you that I haven't bothered coming, which is why you haven't seen me, but she's lying because I've made the effort. She's just not made the effort to bring you to me, you know, to meet with me. You know, there's been... It's a very, very powerful song, and I still like that line, I might have gone, but I never walked out. So it's like, yes, I might have been away from home, but I never left you. You know, it wasn't I never had any plans or intentions to walk away from you. Yeah, so very, very powerful song. So, yeah, it's unbelievable. The way he puts so much of himself into his music, you know, to put that much of his personal life into a song, you know, to be that open, you know, it's quite a powerful thing. And it's a very, very brave thing to do as well, is to open yourself up like that to hundreds of thousands of people, to bare your soul to people like that. It's a very brave thing to do, because it's something that can be very easily turned against you. Like I said before, you know, I can't remember who it was, but someone wrote a song about their ex-wife, and their ex-wife took it that he was actually, it was like a threatening letter to her, essentially, and she took it the wrong way and like took him to court and all that sort of stuff, claiming that he was going to come and attack her and kill her and stuff like that. You know, so he's been very tactful about the way he's written this song. He's been very, very careful about it, and you know, very, very powerful, very good song. But I've been waffling on for ages about this track, haven't I? So I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. Drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or even on my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel, which would be very much appreciated. There is also an option in Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There are a couple of limitations on that, to be fair to other people who suggest tracks through regular means, such as through Facebook comments or YouTube comments, etc. You know, if you do suggest tracks through those regular means, do know that it might take me a while to get around to your suggestions, since I get suggested so many tracks every single day that I can't record all the songs at the same time. So it might take me a while to get around to it, but I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. Just might take me a while. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those aimed at people of the alternative culture. And it's something I believe in very, very strongly, because it's something that I've had to deal with for a very large portion of my life, for a huge portion of my life, for nearly 30 years. And it's something many of my friends and my family have had to deal with as well. And it's something I've never really understood. It's like, why people feel the need to attack someone because they like alternative music or because they wear alternative fashion is something I've never understood. It makes no sense to me. But it's a very real problem. It goes widely ignored. And, that really needs to change, because people are getting violently attacked. I'm not just talking about insults thrown from afar, excuse me, or shoulder barged as they walk down the street. I'm talking about real, bad, dangerous physical attacks where people are getting brutally attacked, beaten to within an inch of their lives, and hospitalised with broken limbs or life-threatening injuries. This happens all the time, but nothing gets spoken about, nothing gets said about it. And, it really needs to change. Something needs to be done. The last time this was spoken about was 12 or 13 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a gang of 5 or 6 people and beaten so severely that they both ended up in comas. 5 or 6 people against just 2 people, and they were beaten brutally, And they both, like I said, they both ended up in comas. Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He was in a coma for around about a week, maybe a little bit longer, can't remember exactly. But he survived. Sophie Lancaster, on the other hand, was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries and she died. This 20-year-old girl was beaten to death. She was murdered purely because of the way she dressed and the music that she listened to. And that's unacceptable. And in any case. And this happened 12 or 13 years ago, and we've not heard a thing since. However, I can guarantee you that hundreds, if not thousands of people from the alternative community have been attacked in a similar fashion, but nothing has been said. We've heard nothing about it, and the main reason for that will be because nobody died. And that's disgusting. It shouldn't take the death of someone for this to be spoken about. Every single day we hear about all of these other hate crimes: sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, ableism. We hear these on a daily basis, from the most heinous and violent of these crimes, where someone is murdered for the colour of their skin, for their sexual orientation, for their religion, etc. We hear about those on an almost daily basis, down to the most pathetic of these crimes, where entitled Karen is phoning the police because a family of colour are having a picnic in a public space. We hear all facets of these crimes on a regular basis, but we're hearing nothing about people that are getting beaten to within an inch of their life because of their taste in music. And that's unacceptable. That needs to be changed. That something needs to be done, because people are getting severely hurt. And we shouldn't have to wait for the death of someone before it gets spoken about. We can't allow what happened to Sophie Lancaster to ever happen again. It's something that should never have happened in the first place. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, so they can stop it from ever happening again. They want more people to talk about it, so we can stop these sorts of things from ever happening again. Something needs to be done. It needs to be recognised that this is a very real problem. If you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, obviously you don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any way, whether it's a small donation through their website or something like one of these Sophie wristbands off their web store, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And, the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Take me off your worry list, it'll be better that way. And I'm doing fine, and I got plenty friends around. Take me off your worry list, just throw